Ever opened your spellbook as a Restoration Shaman and just feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of spells you're supposed to keybind? Don't worry, you're not alone. The good news, once you actually know what each spell does and how to use them, Restoration becomes one of the most straightforward healing specs in the game. By the end of this guide, you'll know exactly how to play Restoration Shaman. This isn't about becoming a top-tier raider, but you'll have everything you need to start healing in Mythic Plus dungeons with confidence, even if you're completely new or just coming back to the game. This video is for anyone jumping into Resto Shaman for the first time, or DPS players switching roles and wanting a clear step-by-step help. What really sets Restoration Shaman apart is your totems. Your core healing toolkit is straightforward. Your main challenge is figuring out when and how to use your totems and utility spells to match whatever's happening in the dungeon. Restoration Shaman is about priority. Your job is to keep your short cooldown spell called Riptide as much as possible. You also need to rotate through your healing cooldowns and keep key buffs and auras active like Earth Shield and High Tide. The main challenge is always being active. Track your buffs, keep Riptide rolling, drop healing totems when available, and use your big cooldowns as needed. You're not following a fixed sequence, you're reacting to what's happening and making sure your high value abilities are never just sitting there unused. So we mentioned Riptide, but what is Riptide? Why is it important? Riptide is your core healing over time spell with 2 charges. You want to use it on cooldown, aiming to keep it as active on as many party members as possible. It's not just for the healing itself, it interacts with a long list of your talents, so you want to maximize those benefits at all times. Here are some of the talent interactions Riptide has. With Deluge, your other healing spells do 15% more healing to anyone affected by Riptide or Healing Rain. With Tidal Waves, every time you cast Riptide, you get 2 stacks of Tidal Waves. This reduces the cast time of Healing Wave or Chain Heal, or makes your next healing surge 30% more likely to crit. With the Earth Living Weapon talent, Riptide can trigger extra healing over time. And with the Deeply Rooted Elements talent, every Riptide cast has a 7% chance to activate Ascendance, duplicating all healing you do for a short time. Riptide is one of your highest priority spells in your kit. You want to use it as soon as it's available, but just make sure you use up your Tidal Wave stacks before casting the next Riptide. New players often waste those buffs by spamming Riptide without spending the stacks beforehand. Another talent I want to mention is Master of the Elements. This is a talent that buffs your next healing surge by 30% every time you cast Lava Burst. The buff can stack up to 2 times, and if you use the buffed healing surge in combat, it also spreads Flame Shock to a nearby enemy. The key is to always try to have this buff active when you need to cast Healing Surge, so your big heals hit harder and get bonus damage when healing during fights. Before we go into hero talents, I want to go briefly over our main cooldowns. These cooldowns shouldn't be treated as DPS cooldowns, and instead should be used when you need what they actually do, which most of the time will be extra healing, but let's see what they do. Spirit Link Totem. It drops a totem at a target location for 6 seconds. While active, it reduces all damage taken by 10% for anyone inside, and every second, everyone's health is averaged out, so it could prevent deaths from spike damage. Use this when multiple party members are dangerously low or when big group-wide damage is coming. It can save runs by stopping one player from dying to a big hit. Next up is Healing Tide Totem. It places a totem at your feet for 10 seconds. It pulses healing every few seconds to all party members within range. It's great for stabilizing the group during heavy sustained damage, especially if several people are low and you need passive group healing. Next up is Ascendance. It turns you into a water ascendant for 15 seconds, duplicating all healing you do at 70% effectiveness and giving you a big burst heal instantly. All duplicated healing is evenly spread across your group. You would use it when your group is taking huge damage and you need the burst of healing over several seconds. It's good for big boss mechanics or emergencies. Next up, we got Nature's Swiftness. It makes your next healing or damaging nature spell instant and free. It has a 1-minute cooldown. You would use it for instant emergency healing, usually with Chain Heal, when you can't risk being interrupted or need a fast save. And Stone Bulwark Totem. It drops a totem at your feet and gives you a strong absorb shield for 15 15 seconds, with additional smaller shields every 5 seconds for 30 seconds. You would use it for self-survivability when you know you'll take heavy damage or when personal defensives are needed. It's basically great for soaking dangerous mechanics. Now that you know what makes Restoration Shaman unique, and you have a handle on your core healing toolkit and totem cooldowns, let's talk about hero talents. For hero talents, I recommend going with Totemic. There could be debate about using Farseer, but I feel like for new and returning players, Totemic is the way to go. In Mythic Plus, a vast majority of all Restoration Shamans use Totemic, and in Mythic raids, that number jumps even higher. When you play Totemic, your goal is to always keep Surging Totem, the upgraded instant cast version of Healing Rain, active. Surging Totem puts up a stronger Healing Rain effect that lasts for 24 seconds and can be repositioned with Totemic Projection, so you're not locked into a bad placement anymore. This talent tree revolves around using your totems for consistent AoE healing and makes Chain Heal a centerpiece of your playstyle. With passives like Lively Totems, you end up casting a lot more Chain Heals. But you need to remember, it's expensive, and you shouldn't just spam it. Use Chain Heal when it lines up with your other talents and when the group actually needs it. Whenever you drop Surging Totem, you automatically get the ability to cast Downpour within 22 seconds of casting Surging Totem. Downpour sends out a burst of healing at your Surging Totem's location, hitting up to 5 injured allies within 12 yards and boosting your maximum health by 10% for 6 seconds. This makes Surging Totem even stronger since you can stack Downpour's big instant heal right on top of your main healing zone. Once your hero talents are set, you need a plan for actually healing your group in real encounters. Here is exactly how to decide what spell to cast so you'll always get the most out of your toolkit. Restoration healing isn't about a fixed rotation like a DPS. It's about following a priority system. The idea is to always use the most efficient or high impact heal first, and as options fall off, you use the next best thing. Here's how to approach it. Your first priority is to use the High Tide buffed Chain Heal. High Tide is a passive talent that you'll always take as a Restoration Shaman. Every time you spend 1,000,000 mana, you gain 2 stacks of High Tide. This makes your next 2 Chain Heals heal for an extra 10%, and they don't lose healing as they jump from player to player. Because Chain Heal is such a core part of your healing toolkit, especially with the Totemic build, High Tide gives you a huge value over a dungeon or a raid fight. Whenever you see you have High Tide stacks, you want to use Chain Heal when 3 or more people are injured, so you always get the full effect out of the talent. Your next priority is Healing Surge if you have the Master of the Elements buff. You would use Healing Surge on a player, preferably if you have the Master of the Elements buff. This makes your heal much stronger and in combat spreads Flame Shock. Your next priority is Lava Burst. Why? Because that's how you gain Master of the Elements buff. If you don't have the buff and there's no immediate healing emergency, use Lava Burst so your next Healing Surge is buffed when you need to use it. Your next priority is to keep Riptide on cooldown. We already talked about Riptide. It's extremely efficient and has many talent interactions. Use it on cooldown to keep its healing rolling across the group and maintain key buffs. Your next priority is to use Downpour after Surging Totem for more AoE healing. If you've just used Surging Totem and you still need extra group healing, use Downpour immediately after to stack more healing in the same area. Your next priority is basically to not overcap on Healing Stream Totem. Healing Stream Totem is a short cooldown totem you can drop at your feet to heal injured party or raid members automatically for 18 seconds. You have 2 charges of this ability, so don't let both charges sit unused. Drop a Healing Stream Totem whenever someone needs healing or you know steady damage is coming in. It's not about spamming both charges instantly, but you also don't want to waste healing by leaving them at max charges. Think of it as a free passive healing rolling in the background. Use it often to keep your group topped up. Your next priority is to keep Surging Totem active. If you've chosen the Acid Rain talent, make sure Surging Totem is always active. As we already mentioned, Surging Totem replaces Healing Rain in your build, and with the Acid Rain talent, any enemies standing in your Surging Totem's area take extra damage. This turns your healing zone into a damage zone as well, so you always drop Surging Totem where it'll hit both your party members and as many enemies as possible. Your next priority is to use Healing Surge when you have the Undulation buff. Undulation makes every third healing surge or healing wave heal for 50% more. Watch for the Undulation buff and use Healing Surge on your most injured target to get the most value out of your big heal. Your next priority is to refresh Earth Shield. Earth Shield is an instant cast buff you can keep on yourself and one other target, usually the tank or whoever is taking the most consistent damage. It increases your healing on that target by 20% and gives them a small heal every time they take damage, up to once every 3 seconds. With talents like Earth and Harmony, Earth Shield also reduces damage taken by 3% and becomes even stronger when the target drops below 50% health. Therazane's Resilience makes Earth Shield never lose charges and boosts its effectiveness, so you don't have to worry about refreshing it. And your last priority is to use Chain Heal if 3 or more people are injured. If you've already used your high impact options and you still see 3 or more people missing health, cast Chain Heal. It's still the most efficient way to heal multiple targets at once when group damage is high and your big cooldowns or buffs aren't available. The point of this priority system is to always start at the top and use the highest priority option that fits the situation. As those abilities go on cooldown, work your way down the list. This way, you maximize your healing efficiency, never waste key cooldowns, and always have something effective to cast. That covers everything you need to start healing Mythic Plus as a Restoration Shaman. If you're still getting used to all the abilities, focus on keeping your main totems active and follow the priority system. You'll see improvements fast. Before I end, just know this isn't the full picture. There's a lot more to playing Restoration Shaman, like the spells, mana management, and the utility spells that make shamans so valuable in a group. This video focused only on the basics of healing, so you can get started fast without being overwhelmed. If you're looking for advanced tips or want to know more about utility, let me know in the comments. If this guide helped you out, hit like and subscribe for more practical guides just like this one. If you've got any questions or want help with anything specific, drop a comment below and I'll get back to you. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.